Hello and welcome to week 29, where we are going to get familiar with some illustrations in the Firebird books Forwood is highlighting during their Night of the Museum on May 20th. Illustrations are the pictures in books. Illustrators are artists who draw the pictures in books. I hope that helps because I did have a few friends a little confused about why we were talking about illustrators in art class, because illustrators are artists. There are many different types of artists in the world. Illustration is just one of the many jobs artists could do. This is the book we will be discussing today. In fact, there are four books. Firebird is a Russian fairy tale with a magical bird or phoenix that is both a blessing and a curse to the one who captures it. But Firebird is also a ballet and a song. Now, with that information, I would like you to check out the next two slides. Here you get the idea that Firebird is a folktale and a ballet. Just as an author, that's the writer, interprets this information to create their unique story, so does the illustrator. Check out how the bird is depicted, represented, or otherwise drawn in these two images. Here are the four Firebird books again, but I have the reverse emphasized. Emphasize means to make your eyes draw to the picture. Okay? So in order for me to emphasize something, I might get louder so you hear me better or you pay attention. I might get quieter so that you try to listen really hard. But when we emphasize something in artwork, we might make it bigger or we might make it a different color. We're going to emphasize our Firebird next week. So we're going to work on the backgrounds this week. Since we worked on collage last week, I'd like to continue with collage. Christopher Myers used collage and painting to piece together some of his backgrounds in this book. Can you point out which areas are collaged? Can you point out which areas are painted? Did he use some painting in his collage? Maybe he painted the paper and then cut it out and glued it on. What do you think? Here, Chris Walter uses a different medium. It looks like she may be using drawing supplies like color pencils and illustration markers. She includes both images of the fairy tale and the ballet on each page to illustrate the text. Isn't that neat? Here, all of the authors depict a cityscape or building. Think about how the images are the same. Now think about how they're different. Think about the building type. Think about the medium used, the style, and by the style I mean, does it look really realistic, almost like a photograph? Or does it look like it was drawn or cut out? I'd also like you to note that the illustrator who uses collage is focusing on a story of a ballerina and how she dances the Firebird. So this story is a little bit different. If you notice the bridge back there, that does not go with the story Firebird. Here in the background is a collage. It is a bunch of papers cut out and glued together. These are mostly warm colors. There's a little bit of blue in here, so that would be a cool color. I'm giving you all this information because some of this is review for my older kids, and I think it's really important for all of you guys to know that. But these are the directions for each of my grade levels. You are all going to need scissors, glue, color paper. Now that color paper could be magazines. Please don't ask your parents or whoever loves you at home to go buy you magazines. You could use newspapers. You could use old photos, books, or old papers that you did, or maybe old art papers, like when we did the shape papers in the beginning of the painting unit. Please make sure that whatever you cut, it's okay to cut it before you start cutting. Really important. Now, let's move on. The directions are the same here, but I highlighted the colors so that you understood it a little better. First and kindergarten are using primary colors today. That is red, yellow, and blue. Next week, you'll be using your secondary colors. For both of your weeks, you'll be allowed to use value colors. Your value colors are black and white. When you mix black and white together, you get gray. And that is also a value color. There's many of different grays. I'm going to explain this a little bit more in a cute video so that you remember your primary colors and you remember to use your primary colors. There will be a few demonstrations on how to create your artwork this week. In case you cannot collage it because you do not have glue, scissors, and paper, I do have painting techniques for you, and I also have drawing techniques or drawing supplies. So that being said, that goes for kindergarten through 5th grade. My 2nd and 3rd graders, today you're going to be using cool colors. Next week you're going to be using warm colors. Today your cool colors are purple, blue, and green. Both weeks you'll be using value colors. 4th and 5th grade, today you will be using your cool complementary colors. And your cool complementary colors are blue, green, and purple. So we'll talk a little bit about that this week. And we'll also talk about what complementary colors mean in the next slide. Next week, you'll be using warm complementary colors, but both weeks you'll be using your value colors. All right, stay tuned for your fun activity on what your colors are, because you are being graded on your colors this week and whether or not you understand what values are and collage. So I'm talking about, do you understand what collage is? Do you understand if you are able to do collage? If not, you have the other options to do. So we're focusing mainly on, do you understand your colors and do you understand what value means, darks and lights of colors?
Hi, I'm Deja.
And I'm Jacob.
And this is Art Quest. Art Quest! Did you know colors have a temperature?
Like hot and cold?
Yes. For instance, my favorite color is blue. What kind of things does the color blue remind you of?
Blue reminds me of the ocean, nighttime, and polar bears.
Polar bears?
Well, the ice where the polar bears live is pretty cool there.
That's exactly right! Blues, greens, and purples are called cool colors because they remind us of things that are cool, like a lake, a night sky, or a field of grass.
Are there warm colors too?
There sure are. Warm colors includes reds, oranges, and yellows. You know, things that make us feel warm.
Like fire, the sun, and spicy peppers.
Exactly.
What colors are around you? Do they make you feel cool or warm?
Take a closer look because really, art is all around you.
For more activities, visit.
You can choose to create one of these examples on slide 2. Just click the green next arrow and click on one of the pictures to follow along with the demonstration.